5 amazing artists, 2 days, 1 place. Scarlet Thicket Art Farm. It's part of the Chester County Studio Tour. That's what we're talking about tonight on Mainline Tonight. We hope that you will come out May 16th, 15th, and 16th and support the artists who are participating in the Chester County Studio Tour. But tonight, you get a sneak peek of Lauren E. Peters' work. So I'm gonna get out of the way and we are gonna introduce you to her. Here she is. Oh my God, that looks so cool, I just have to say. Lauren E. Peters, welcome to Mainline Tonight. You know I'm a fan, I stalk you a little bit on Instagram. So, this is your first time showing at Scarlet Thicket. Tell us what's behind you.
So behind me is a little installation that I did of both portraits, and I've been trying to do some supplemental pieces. I look at a lot of vintage like textiles and antiques and that sort of thing for prints for the background. So I started pulling things just to make little paintings to kind of give, you know, more of a story or a companion to the portraits themselves.
Yeah, so tell us about, take us through a little bit of the different work that you have here.
Sure. So these two over here are small pieces that are actually little patterns lifted from vintage or antique, however you want to say it, rugs. And so this pattern or similar patterns, you know, would be repeated on the textiles. So I just made them my own colors and, you know, tried to fit them in with the rest of the work.
Yes. And who is this lady up here?
That's a new woman in my life. And I have the most generous friends who not only helped me set up everything today, but also purchased that robe for me for my birthday.
So this is already, oh, the robe, right.
So they knew that would immediately go into a painting. So yes, that was just in March. So yeah, and then this up top, that's my county collector piece.
Yeah, and tell us what that is. So if people come out bright and early,
yes,
on Saturday,
all the artists in the Chester County Studio Tours were given that panel and the frame to create a piece of artwork for $75. So no matter what your normal price point would be, they will be available at 10 a.m. on Saturday.
But there's only one of them.
Only one.
So that will be sold for $70. Right. So you have to be here bright and early to get that one piece. But you do have other things available, really at a variety of price points. So let's go over here and then we're going to talk about, and look at all this amazingness of Scarlet Thicket. Okay, so let's show people. I'm going to come all the way back here. So here's some more of your work. Now, I am a little bit obsessed. I think I put like 1,000 little hearts and likes all over this piece with Bow Lady is what I'm calling her.
Sure.
Bow girl. Okay, now, when I saw this, I loved the colors and I loved everything going on here. Then when I told you that I loved that, you said, oh, well, it's a self-portrait. So I did not realize that your work is self-portraiture. So tell me about why that is.
Well, I started doing it because I started painting 5 years ago for a show when I started running a studio at the Delaware Contemporary and had no idea what I was doing, had no focus whatsoever, and painted 7 self-portraits just to have a body of work, and I've been doing it ever since. So I costume myself and wear wigs, so these are all done from source photos that I take and then do the paintings from there.
So you have a series of wigs of different colors, you have a series of clothing, and even the wigs and the clothing are part of your statement, part of what you're trying to get across. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely developed over time, and I'm sure it will just continue to do so as I try to figure out different ways to keep this interesting. But yeah, just trying to see myself in different ways and encourage people to, see different sides of themselves, or just be aware that, you don't have to be just one thing or the other. And I loved the bow piece, which is officially called Self-Portrait Love Lock, which I read about men, and I think it's the 15th and 16th centuries, would grow a long lock of hair and put a bow in it over their heart to, you know, symbolize that there was someone close to their heart. And I just love the mix of masculine and feminine. So I loved the bow accessory for men, you know, dating back to that time. So that's what that title references.
Yes, yes.
So those are a bunch of little Christmas bows that I did.
Wow.
Fasten to one of my wigs for that.
So I want to say hi to John Donnelly and to Jamie Jaffe and to Sophie Jacobs, who is joining us. Now, I asked you these self-portraits, why your face is turned away in some of them.
You know, at first it's two things. It's, you know, I like there being some air of mystery to them and it not being immediately apparent that they're all just my face, which is also somewhat tedious to paint for myself as well. But it also, like, as I've pushed my colors to go in such a bold, vibrant direction, what has come out of that is, which I've always kind of referenced as I don't really like being the center of attention, or, yeah, that pretty much sums it up. But I really like wearing bright colors, so that's a mixed message there. So as the paintings have gotten brighter and bolder, I have also just shown that other side of the introvert versus extrovert, or how you're presented may not match the inside.
And you're also you also have thoughts and are making a little bit of a statement about social media and attention. Now, of course, we are on Instagram.
Here we are.
We are using Instagram for good, I say. But it is, so tell me what your thoughts are about social media and attention and all of that. And I want to say hi to 1500 Degrees Studio. I agree with you. This is absolutely amazing work. And just in case you're just tuning in, we are talking to Lauren E. Peters about her work that is here, and it will be here this weekend. You can all come down to Scarlet Thicket Art Farm on Saturday and Sunday. It's part of the Chester County Studio Tour. So mask up, show up, and see this art in person. Okay, so we're talking about social media. So it's a couple of different, like, I don't know if irony is the right word, but that your work is so Instagrammable. Right? It looks fantastic. If people aren't already following you at Lauren E. Peters, they should go do that. So it looks great on social media, but you are making a statement about social media.
Yeah, it definitely started out that way. And the paintings early on were a lot clearer. I was pretty married to the idea of, I was only using essentially the selfie stick. So you would see my arm sometimes in the composition, or you know, just your shoulders being that weird tilt of that you're holding.
Yeah. Like, is that what Bow Girl is doing here?
No. Oh. So I did eventually emancipate myself from that and do use the tripod now.
Okay.
So that was, you know, it was time to move on from being that limited.
But the thing about social media is that it is to get attention, but a certain kind of attention.
Yeah, so I just, you know, I was trying to comment on, like, making myself up into this person that, I mean, I'll just tell all of you, I didn't ever dye my hair until last August. Like, I just, you know, it's always like these filters are used and these, like, fake projections of a version of yourself.
Yeah.
So I was, you know, definitely trying to join that conversation in terms of, like, what is it that we're putting out on social media? Like, is it true? Is it false? And is that even a valid question? As well as, you know, me making myself up, is that, you know, bringing out a side of me that I don't let loose? Or is it just, you know, some fake character that I've created?
Right. Well, you've created beautiful art. So you're going to go that way. I'm going to go this way and just show everybody. Some of this is under wraps. Still, there's a lot of work that we're not going to show you because we want you to come out here and see all of this gorgeousness May 15th and 16th at Scarlet Thicket Art Farm. So, where am I going? Here?
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Can you address the scale? Are they always life size? John Donnelly Art wants to know.
I feel very comfortable in this size, which is a 40 by 30. Something about them being life size feels great. You know, just having that response. The one piece you're not seeing is a 40 by 40 that's at the end, and that it's crazy how that little bit of space really made it feel larger than life.
Yeah,
even though
but you do smaller. You have a bunch of smaller pieces.
Yeah, I mean, it is fun to just try and, you know, I'm always experimenting and, you know, seeing as that I've put myself, like boxed myself in to some degree, which I enjoy the challenge. I'm not saying I'm limited by it. I like exploring.
Well, also, my dear, you've boxed yourself into success because your work is selling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're having success with it. Tell us about the work behind you.
Sure. So this one is called Self-Portrait Prey, Prey, which I've started using crows in my work, which started when I was doing a show about that I used a reference to Greek mythology in the title, but I just feel affinity with crows, not just because they're smart, amazing creatures, but also that people see them as harbingers of death. You know, like they have such a negative side too, and that's not personal, but it's just that I really like, you know, looking into the, you know, introvert versus extrovert, you know, like the different dualities of personality and identity. So
yeah,
I became the crow. I have another painting with a crow on my shoulder, but, and then I painted the background because I was going to be here. I mean,
oh, wow.
It just came out, and so I had the photo, she seems stronger, like in the photo, but it's the painting, for whatever reason, came out much more vulnerable. And I realized,
she looks
a bird in the woods.
To me, she looks a little afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apprehensive.
Looked,
yeah.
So,
yeah.
An earlier version of this, she looked terrified.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, and 1500 degrees here. Is it oil, acrylic? What are the materials? Yeah.
Oil on canvas for the most part.
Oil on canvas. Okay. And then when you start, walk me through your process a little bit. So where you started, you took a photo of yourself wearing the wig. How did that all, the whole thing?
Yeah,
okay.
I know. My collection of like props and such is, I try to make things when I can.
I want to come over and play with all your stuff.
You should, certainly should. I know. I miss the pre-COVID days. When people would different wigs.
I think I would look smashing in a blue wig. Okay, so you start with a photo of yourself. Now, for something like this, did you try a pink wig? Did you try a white wig?
Sometimes I do. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, photo days it's a process because, you know, sometimes I am like, this is it, this is the look, and I try it on and it's nothing. So it is funny that sometimes I just throw on things that I have laying around and those click more than like the very planned out things.
Yeah. So you start with the photo, you get the combination that you want, you get the look on your face, I guess, also that you want. So you're directing yourself.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you have that, and then you match a background to that.
Yeah. And, you know, I've been trying to do more patterns in the background, and that's been a fun development. But it's, yeah, sometimes, you know, it's like the painting we breezed by down there, where I have a lavender hair color and a yellow ochre. That's actually a white gray wig and a white top. And it is a beautiful photo, and it just was flat as anything. So sometimes they do change.
Was that a crow that just went by my head? It knows. It knows that we're talking about it. You saw that, right? That wasn't in my head.
No, it was definitely. I wonder if they saw it on the
Okay, I don't know. Okay, so once again, we want to say that we are at Scarlet Thicket Art Farm. Everybody can come down here for the Chester County Studio Tour, May 15th and 16th, and we are talking to Lauren E. Peters. So, in closing, tell me about, this is your first time showing here at Scarlet Thicket. So what went into, and I just want to show your space one more time. Tell me what went into your thinking about how to present the work here and what you wanted to say. So what went into that?
Yeah, it was really fun. I mean, you can see that I brought some of my houseplants here. I also have a friend and colleague, Samara Weaver, whose business is Design Hues. She will be here tomorrow installing some things, I believe, from the ceiling, some moss and greenery. I just wanted it to be a more immersive experience, given that, you know, you're used to the white gallery walls, which is certainly a lovely way to display artwork.
So if you painted this, what we're looking at, the background of that sort of for here, what kind of background, like what do you see when you look at that background? What is it saying?
I think it's different for me because it does feel like space, that there is an environment there, whereas I really do like a lot of flat colors, and it's more about the design rather than the atmosphere. And I think that, you know, like there's such a feeling in this space, you know, the barn itself, that is the opposite of a lot of gallery space or other places that I've shown. So yeah, there is that depth, a little more depth of field than I normally would, as opposed to it just looking. It doesn't just look like a wallpaper, you know, like or
right.
Or
it's not. It's not one color. It's not one kind of graphic. It's more multidimensional. And then I guess I also want to ask. See, I have so many things I want to ask. Sorry. So it seems to me. So Constance McBride is one of the other artists here. Katie Boyle and of course Leo Wells. So you did not purposefully sort of pick up on each other's themes. But Constance, her work is sculpture, and it's about memory and being a woman. And your work and Katie's is memory and being a woman. And so is what Ms. Wells is going to show us tomorrow. So is it coincidence that you're all sort of working in the same fields? Is it something to do with the time that we're in, or is this just your area that you want to address?
I think that's probably a Katie Boyle question, as that she brought us all together here. But I mean, it is like, as this has all developed, it has been really just interesting to hear everybody talk about how, you know, similar approaches are, and yet the product is so different between all of us. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely, my work has gotten way more feminine in the past, I'd say, year or so. And I really like that deep dive into the feminine separated from gender. And it's been just such a magical experience to see all of these female artists, you know, come together.
And Carlos.
And yeah. How they're approaching their artwork.
All right, so John Donnelly Art. The name of this place is Scarlet Thicket Art Farm in Kennett Square, Pennsylvania. It's on Instagram. You can find it at Scarlet Thicket Art Farm. This show is Saturday and Sunday, May 15th and 16th. You just need a mask. It is free. You do need to mask up and show up. And you can find all the information at the different, at County Studio Tour, at Scarlet Thicket Art Farm, at Lauren E. Peters' Instagram, Constance McBride, Leo Wells, and CountyStudioTour.com. Thank you for mentioning that. And so that's it from here at Scarlet Thicket Art Farm. Lauren, thank you so much for making the time to speak with me. It's been lovely. Thank you so much. Everybody come down here on Saturday and Sunday. We will see you again soon.